Good evening and welcome. I am Golda Lee Bruce. This is the 7 o'clock news here on CNC3. In the headlines tonight, vindicated. The National Security Minister says that's how he feels after the Court for Sports Arbitration annuls FIFA's ban on Mohammed bin Hammam over bribery allegations. The Port of Spain mayor cries sabotage as 6 city police put a dent on his plan to pick up the homeless. The government accuses the PNM of trying to sabotage the 50th anniversary of independence celebrations. At the center is the country's first prime minister. Also tonight, government to spend $89 million to expand the Diego Martin Highway and overpass. And in sport, TNT athletes show good warm-up form in track meet in Cardiff, Wales. Top of the news tonight, Jack Warner says he is vindicated by the Court of Arbitration's dismissal of its case against Mohammed bin Hammam. Mr. Warner held a news conference today and Kamal Georges was there.
What I will tell you this afternoon, however, is that FIFA's reprehensible conduct is fast becoming unmasked. And I will end by telling you that no weapon formed against me shall prosper, none whatsoever.
A year-long wait, but vindication for former FIFA Vice President Jack Warner. He believes had he still been a FIFA Vice President, allegations of bribery against him would have been overthrown like the case against Mohammed bin Hammam. On Thursday, the Court of Arbitration for Sport withdrew a lifetime ban for bribery against the former president of the Asian Football Confederation, bin Hammam, because of insufficient evidence to support the bribery allegations. At a news conference held in Port of Spain, Minister Warner says the decision by the esteemed panel did not surprise him.
At the end of the day, I knew there would have been justice at a higher level. And I took all the insult and the absurdities being said here. I'll come to it again just now. But I waited my time.
Minister Warner told the news conference on Thursday that he stepped down from FIFA because he refused to be subjected to the body's biased procedures. He said FIFA's ethics and disciplinary committees are handpicked by President Sepp Blatter, men whom he says are loyal to Blatter and ultimately arbitrate in his favor. But what does this decision mean for Minister Warner's future in football?
Never. I left football. I dust my feet from football a year ago, and that is a permanent position. I want nothing from football, and I don't expect to go back to football in the short term or the long term.
However, Minister Warner says if Sepp Blatter resigns tomorrow, that would be a different matter.
If he leaves FIFA, I'll go the next day.
Attorney Om Lala told Thursday's news conference that the Court of Arbitration for Sport is equivalent to a Privy Council and its ruling was final. However, the Court of Arbitration in its ruling noted that this conclusion should not be taken to diminish the significance of its finding that it is more likely than not that Mr. bin Hammam was the source of the monies that were brought into Trinidad and Tobago and eventually distributed at the meeting by Mr. Warner. It further states it is not making any sort of affirmative finding of innocence in relation to Mr. bin Hammam, and that it was simply a situation of case not proven. However, Minister Warner told reporters on Thursday the ruling was a victory. For CNC3, I am Kamal Georges.
Meanwhile, former FIFA presidential candidate Mohammed bin Hammam says he wants to retire from football despite having his lifetime ban for bribery annulled. FIFA had banned him from any kind of football-related activity at national and international levels for life. But the Court of Arbitration for Sport said there was insufficient evidence to support the ban.
I should have the benefit of the doubt. You know, I am a human and I deserve that. Anyhow, I am 100% sure of myself. I am 100% sure of my innocent action, and that is very important. It was very important for me.
The biggest problem that you faced, you have overcome that problem. So what will you do now?
Frankly speaking, what is my wish? That to quit. Really, I served football that long, more than 42 years. And the last year, really, I have seen a very bad, very ugly face of the sport and of the football. You know, envy, jealousy. I will not talk about corruption and other things. Everybody is talking about this. My wish now is just to quit, actually, and retire. I have found myself in the last 1 year, after I have been forcibly suspended, in this last 1 year, I found really myself. I found Mohammed bin Hammam. I found Mohammed bin Hammam, the man of the family, the man of his friends. This is actually what I found. I found the peace in this last 1 year, and I wish I continue like it.
And that's the story which takes us to the Your Vote question tonight. And we want you to tell us, do you think the CAS ruling regarding Mohammed bin Hammam is enough reason for Minister Warner to feel vindicated? Text your response to the number 2623. If your response is yes, text Y. If it's no, then text N. We'll give you an update on voting during the newscast. And of course, the final vote at the end of tonight's news. And we also want your help to determine who was the most influential person in Trinidad and Tobago over the last 50 years. Every night we unveil one of the most 50 influential personalities from the year of our independence in 1962 right up to the present day, 2012. Vote via text to 2623. Sabotage. That's how Port of Spain Mayor Louis Leasing is describing his bid on Wednesday night to remove street dwellers off the streets of the capital city. The mayor says the first part of his exercise was frustrated by the high absenteeism of city police officers. And the mayor says he now intends to get to the bottom of what happened and why. Otto Carrington has more.
On Wednesday night, the Port of Spain City Corporation began its exercise to rid the capital city of street dwellers. It's not the first time such an attempt was made by the Port of Spain Mayor Louis Leasing, but this time he says it failed miserably after city police officers did not show up. The mayor says he does not understand why, especially when the exercise was on the card some 6 weeks ago.
We certainly have a problem when we set up an exercise that we have been doing very well, and the bulk of the police assigned to do duty last night just didn't turn up. 10 out of 14 were absent. 14.
But in spite the lack of help by the police, the mayor says 26 street dwellers were held and have been remanded in custody after appearing in court on Thursday. Tracing is expected to be done on all the street dwellers held. But the mayor wants the government to take control of the issue of street dwellers, since he says many want to come off the streets but have nowhere to go. The mayor says he will not allow the corporation's plans to be frustrated.
All the persons who worked last night to be at the review, so that we can understand what went wrong on their side, to certainly take corrective action, because it is costing the taxpayer money to do an exercise like that, and to have the exercise aborted less than, I wouldn't even say midway, but to have the exercise aborted after just about an hour or two.
For CNC3, I am Otto Carrington.
There was no need for the Port of Spain Mayor Louis Leasing to take the action he took last evening to remove street dwellers off the streets. Now that's the word from Minister of the People and Social Development, Dr. Glenn Ramadasing. The minister says government is dealing with the issue. Otto Carrington again reports.
Social Development Minister Dr. Glenn Ramadasing says there was no sabotage against Port of Spain Mayor Louis Leasing. Instead, the minister is questioning the method used by the mayor to remove street dwellers, especially when the cabinet has before it a document from the task force set up to deal with street dwellers, and the Attorney General is reviewing it before it can become legislation. The minister says patience is needed.
Many ministers have made their contribution and input, and all these comments have been worked into this cabinet note that is receiving the attention of the cabinet. It is not yet approved by the cabinet. It is in a working form, but it is a holistic plan.
Minister Ramadasing adds that Mayor Leasing was not part of the task force meetings and believes his move on Wednesday night was not well thought out.
We would have preferred that the mayor kept in constant contact, communication with us and our project. I'm sure that he did not know of the developments that we had coming from the Chapman Partnership visit, because he has not been in contact with us.
Chairman of the Task Force for Street Dwellers, Abdul Alim, says since the task force has been in place, it has been making moves to meet with all stakeholders to no avail.
We had the mayor at the meetings, and afterward he had a representative However, in the last 3 meetings, I don't think that the representative of the Port of Spain City Corporation was present.
For CNC3, I am Otto Carrington.
In other news, 4 police officers assigned to the St. Madeleine Police Station are now detained by officers of the Professional Standards Bureau under Assistant Commissioner of Police Raymond Craig. The 4 were held following investigations into a robbery and assault earlier this year in Irie Village, Princestown. The matter is reported to have happened in April while the officers were on duty. Reports are shortly after 3 this morning, officers from the Bureau went to homes of 4 of the officers in South Trinidad and took them into custody. The officers, all constables with 28 years of service among them, are at present being interrogated at the PSB offices in Port of Spain and are expected to appear in identification parades on Friday as well as over the weekend. Well, we now join Astil Wren. He's here to tell us what we can expect coming up in sport later on in our newscast. Astil.
Oh, yes, thank you, Gola. Well, this country's Olympic hopefuls, they were in action last night in Cardiff, Wales, in an invitational meet. We'll have all of that for you. And plus, this country's national under-17 footballers starts in earnest their quest for World Cup qualifications. These stories and more when we come back. It's back to you, Gola.
Thank you so much, Astil. And let's remind you of the question that you're voting on this evening. And that question, once again, is, do you think the CAS ruling regarding Mohammed bin Hammam is enough reason for Minister Jack Warner to feel vindicated? We want to hear from you, so please text your response to the number 2623. If it's yes, text Y. If it's no, text N. It's very simple. We'll give you an update on the voting during the newscast and the final vote at the end of tonight's news. Now, just ahead in the news, a government minister accuses the PNM of trying to sabotage independence anniversary celebrations. Alarming video surfaces of a school beating. A warm Cardiff welcome for TNT Olympic delegation. And later, $89 million for highway extensions in Diego Martin. We tell you more as the CNC3 News continues.
I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it. Oh, blue and gold. You bet is Karen.
Behold the beauty, the brilliance. Be blown away by the TCL LED Full HD experience. TCL LED televisions are simply stunning and backed by a full 2-year warranty. TCL televisions are available exclusively at Courts, bringing value home.
Welcome back to the news. Government is accusing the opposition of playing politics with celebrations to commemorate 50 years of independence. Planning Minister Dr. Botawari went so far as to accuse the opposition of sabotage. Kamal Georges explains.
The opposition seems to always want to know what is in the government's head and what it is thinking so that they could find a strategy for sabotaging. And I make no apologies for saying that.
An uncharacteristically fiery Dr. Botawari, accusations from the opposition that Dr. Eric Williams was being deliberately excluded from this country's 50th anniversary celebrations riled up the planning minister at Thursday's post-cabinet news conference. He says there is no merit to the claims.
It is they that are seeking to be divisive. When this should be a national celebration. They are politicizing a national celebration, and it is really a tremendous disservice to their party, which Dr. Williams built, and a tremendous disservice to the nation.
Dr. Tiwari noted that an entire independence celebration cannot be centered around one individual, but he assures that the country's first Prime Minister will have his place in the celebrations.
On August 30th, we will reenact in front of Woodford Square on the grounds of the traditional Parliament building the ceremony of 1962. And in that, the role of Eric Williams will be most prominent.
Dr. Tiwari also came to the defense of new Central Bank Governor Joel Arambaran. He said it is unfair for him to be judged without even being given a chance at the job. For CNC3, I am Kamal Georges.
The police service is tonight calling on anyone with information to come forward to assist with its investigation into a brutal beating attack on a schoolgirl. The vicious assault of the teen was posted on the police service's Facebook page and has also been making the rounds on the internet via other social networking sites. The video shows the teen girl being assaulted with a piece of iron and then being beaten viciously by a group. During the clip, onlookers can be heard saying that the victim was bleeding. Assistant Superintendent of Police Joanne Archie says officers are aware of the attack, which they have described as despicable. And while there is little information about the victim, the school she attends, when the incident occurred, or the attackers, the police service wants anyone with information to call its tip line, that's its hotline, at 555 or 800 TIPS for the victim or for the victim to come forward. As the Muslim community gets ready to start the holy month of Ramadan, the national community will be reminded of the significance of the fast with the installation of the symbolic star and crescent on the San Fernando Hill. The light was officially turned on last evening. Otto Carrington has more.
It's a place of pride for Southerners, the San Fernando Hill. And what better place to put symbols of the multicultural society which we live in? At Christmas time, a star is lit for Diwali Adir. And as Muslims begin to fast for the holy month of Ramadan, the crescent moon and star will light the hill. As he turned on the light on Wednesday evening, Chairman of the San Fernando Hill Committee, Anthony Ramnarine, paid tribute to the Bangwan Singh family for their input in this project.
We have been able to succeed in getting the cooperation of the Bangwan Singh family so that we have the moon and star again to be prominently displayed on the hill.
Public Utilities Minister Nizambar says as a Muslim himself, he feels a sense of pride that such a tribute is being paid to the Muslim community at this time.
The installation of these symbols have now become an established landmark of the celebrations of Christmas, Diwali and Eid al-Fitr in San Fernando. As a matter of fact, these now form part of our cultural heritage in San Fernando and environs.
Meantime, San Fernando Mayor Navi Muradali says he would like to have further discussions with the Muslim community to formulate plans for the month of Ramadan. For CNC3, I am Otto Carrington.
The holy month of Ramadan will begin either tomorrow or on Saturday. The Trinidad and Tobago Olympic delegation in Cardiff was officially welcomed and honoured today by First Minister of Wales, Carwyn Jones. Trinidad and Tobago is one of 5 national Olympic committees staging their pre-Olympic camp in Wales. Sports Director Roger Sant is in Cardiff and he files this report.
This is the Welsh National Assembly building in Cardiff, and Thursday afternoon, the Welsh Government and First Minister Carwyn Jones welcomed and honoured the 5 National Olympic Committees camping in Wales.
It has been a very great pleasure to have you here in Wales in what has been the wettest summer on record. Fantastic. What a way to greet people. The weather's changing, they tell us, this week when the North Atlantic jet stream that's brought us this weather starts to go back to where it's meant to be, a lot further north. But I hope, even though the weather perhaps has been a bit damp, that the welcome hasn't been damp. I hope the welcome has been very warm.
He presented each National Olympic Committee with a steel dragon. New Zealand, Botswana, Lesotho, Hong Kong's swim team and Trinidad and Tobago. The dragon is part of the Welsh flag. Annette Knott, chef de mission of the Trinidad and Tobago team, was the only one to reciprocate with a gift, handing the First Minister a painting of the steel pan. She also spoke about their plans to stage their pre-Olympic camp in Wales, and she said they were enjoying the Welsh hospitality.
It's been a wonderful opportunity, wonderful experience. The weather we haven't even noticed because because of the warmth of the Welsh people. I really want to say thank you, and I'm sure all my fellow athletes, Olympic committees, etc., on their way to London will be there to tell them in London what a wonderful experience we had in Wales and what they missed out on.
Warm words of welcome, friendship and camaraderie among the National Olympic Associations and the Welsh Government here at the National Assembly Building in Cardiff, Wales, all part of the pre-Olympic experience. Reporting from Cardiff for CNC3, I'm Roger Sant.
It's now time for charting a new course, and tonight we feature Adorables Care and Education Centre and the YMCA Preschool La Jolla class of 2012.
No, I know that I'm not all that you got. I guess that
It's time now for our popular What You Saw segment, where we feature the photos and videos that you've sent to us via the address news@cnc3.co.tt.
We begin with this photo from Adesh of a truck. Adesh says this truck was at Golconda intersection and its number plate was covered with dust, making the said number plate difficult to make out. Then this from Chris, who says, look at this eye in the sky at Trinity Mall car park. One of the windows is broken, so they covered it with duct tape and a plastic bag. Chris says, this is very poor. And Melissa sent us this picture showing a police truck transporting a table tennis table and as well a passenger in the tray of the pickup. Melissa says it was traveling east on the PBR, and she says it would seem that certain laws do not apply to the police service. And finally, this picture from a viewer who wanted to remain anonymous. Our viewer says this is not grapefruit juice, it's water from the tap in Charleville after 2 weeks of low water pressure.
And we just want to remind you that you too can send us your photos and videos. Just send them to the address news@cnc3.co.tt. And let's remind you before we go to sport of the question that we're asking you this evening. And that question is, do you think the CAS ruling regarding Mohammed bin Hammam is enough reason for Minister Warner to feel vindicated? Text your response to the number 2623. If it's yes, text Y. If it's no, then text N. We'll give you an update on voting in a short time, and the final vote at the end of tonight's newscast. It's now time for me to hand you over to Astil Wren for sport.
Thank you once again, Golda. Well, coming up in this evening's sports coverage, TNT athletes show good form in warm-up track meet in Cardiff. National Under-17s begin World Cup qualification quest next week on home soil. National netballers maintain winning streak. Soca Warriors set to meet Canada in friendly international. Promoters yet to find an opponent for Kurt Sinet. And Rafael Nadal will not defend his Olympic singles title. All next on Sport.
Silas Clarke was the second and last Governor-General of Trinidad and Tobago and the first president of this country. He was one of the main architects of Trinidad and Tobago's 1962 independence constitution. He served as Solicitor General from 1954 to 1956, Deputy Colonial Secretary from 1956 to 1957, and Attorney General from 1957 to 1962. In 1972, he succeeded Sir Solomon Hochoy as Governor-General. When Trinidad and Tobago became a republic in 1976, Sir Ellis was unanimously elected the country's first president by the Presidential Electoral College, which comprised members of both houses of Parliament. He was re-elected by the PNM-controlled Electoral College and completed his second term. Sir Ellis was invested as a companion of St. Michael and St. George by Queen Elizabeth II in 1960 and was then awarded a knighthood as a Knight Grand Cross to that order in 1972. On the 24th of November 2010, Clark suffered a massive stroke. He died on the 30th of December 2010, 2 days after his 93rd birthday.
The 50 most influential personalities since independence. We want your view via text on Facebook and online at 50tt.guardian.co.tt.
You really like your Subway? How come?
Well, I love fresh salads.
I love the breakfast too.
I love the foot long. I love mine got right through.
I love my Subway with all the fresh veggies. Boom, diada, boom, diada, boom, diada, boom, diada. I love the healthy choice. I love it everywhere.
I love mine toasted quick. And that they really care.
I love my Subway.
Prepare just how I say. Boom, diada, boom, diada, boom, diada, boom, diada.
I really love my Subway.
I love fresh homemade bread. I love mine stuff just right. I love their awesome team. I love mine in the night. I love my Subway with all the choice of meats. Boom, diada, 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 boom, diada.
Subway, eat fresh.
We're testing new Degree, the only antiperspirant activated directly by movement.
Activating protection, Bear.
The more you move, the more it works. New long-lasting Degree with motion sense.
Not me.
Keep running.
Winning performances for Jehu Gordon, Emmanuel Callender, Seymour Hackett and Michael Thomas last evening as TNT track athletes had a successful outing at the Welsh Athletics International meeting in Cardiff. Our team of Roger Sant and Hank Williams have more as our athletes go for gold.
BPTT's Going for Gold is brought to you in part by Ginseng Up, Sissons Paint, BMW, Mini, the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs, Penta, and BPTT.
It was not a good omen for TNT, the flag upside down on the track infield. And the track display board had TTO next to the name of TNT's athletes, not TRI. However, no major hiccups on the track. Hurdler Michael Thomas winning the 110-meter event in 13.87 seconds, beating Hector Cotto.
I mean, there were a lot of false starts and callbacks, but it's all part of the territory. Today was just about executing in the weather, working on a certain phase, working on the first four. I got up well and kind of went into cruise control. It was a heavy headwind and a little bit chilly, but it's all about execution at this point.
Men's 100 meters and Emmanuel Callender led this one from the start. He won, however, on the line over Joshua Ross of Australia. His time, 10.50 seconds.
I'm not satisfied with the time, you know. It was cold weather, but despite that, you know, I try to stay focused, you know, and try to run fast to the best of my ability. It's good to come out in this weather like this because, you know, this is what we're going to be in. I'm running in London, so it was an okay race. I have to talk to my coach to see what technical stuff I did wrong and what I did right.
Women's equivalent, 3 TNT women in the field. Seymour Hackett in lane 4. She crossed the line first in 11.54 seconds. Third was Michelle Lee Ahi in 11.62, and Kai Selvon was a fourth in 11.75.
Yeah, I'm satisfied with the race so far. Just trying to come in here to run a proper transition race, so I think I did pretty all right.
Okay, were you targeting a particular time for today's race, or?
No, I wasn't targeting any time, but I was trying to get a proper race, like transition and everything correct. And I think I executed a good race, so I'm satisfied.
The 400 hurdles was a heavily anticipated event. TNT's J. Hugh Gordon in orange going up against TNT-born hurdler Caron Clement. And Clement was not at his best, while J. Hugh's long stride served him well as he pulled away to win in 49.75. Clement was fourth.
Given the conditions and the strong negative breeze coming home, I can't really complain. You know, I had a better pain and I was doing a better treatment over the last week, so I just really wanted to come out here and see where I'm at, you know. I had to come against Caron Clement, the world and Olympic champion, so it was just to have a good race and have fun.
You know, me and Jay, he was friends. We talk all the time. He's a great person. I'll be excited to race against him again at the Olympics. He's a tremendous athlete.
Men's 400 and Ade Allen Fort was second in 47.25. And in the women's event, Sparkle McKnight finished in third, her time 53.74 seconds. Reporting for CNC3 from Cardiff, Wales, I'm Roger Sant.
BPTT's Going for Gold was brought to you in part by Ginseng Up, Sissons Paint, BMW, Mini, the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs, Penta, and BPTT.
Well, defending Olympic champion Rafael Nadal has pulled out of the upcoming 2012 London Games. The 26-year-old Nadal is suffering from tendinitis of the knee and will be unable to defend his singles title he won in Beijing 2008. Nadal, ranked third in the world, became the first top 5 male player to win the Olympic singles title by defeating Chile's Fernando Gonzalez in the final 4 years ago. Nadal has not played since his second-round exit to Lucas Rosol at the Wimbledon Games. And this country's national under-17 footballers program has been embarked as one that will restore pride in the local game. From next week, the young men of that team begin their quest to qualify for the 2013 World Cup in the United Arab Emirates. And that quest begins right here on home soil.
We have not dared to host a single tournament. We wanted to be sure that we were ready, and we feel now the time is right for us to make that additional step forward as we rebuild football in Trinidad and Tobago.
With that being said, Trinidad and Tobago will host and be placed in Group 4 of the CFU preliminary stages of World Cup qualifying. TNT plays its matches on July 24th, 26th and 28th at the Hazley Crawford, Atto Bolden and back at the Hazley Crawford Stadium again. Head coach of the young unit, Sean Cooper, has his sights set on the task.
There are no weak teams in international football, as we saw with Guyana and our senior team. So we are preparing for every game as it's an important one. We need to get out of this round, so we'll be taking all the opponents very seriously.
Cooper is assured that this is the right way to start restoring pride in local football.
We know that at home we are under pressure. And I think after a game we played last night against Northeast, the guys showed that under pressure they could perform. So, you know, I'm just asking that the public come out and support them and give them that added, 12 man, as you call it.
The team will be skippered by 15-year-old Brendan Creed, ably assisted by Akim Garcia, who has prior World Cup experience.
It's an achievement, but it's an even greater responsibility on my shoulders. I have a lot of work to do after the by example. I really hope to bring out the best in my teammates.
It's not easy having one game to qualify for the World Cup, and
I try my best to meet the players, work hard, and to try to let them know that it's not an easy job.
Reporting for CNC3 Sports, I am Jassi Merik.
And this country's soccer warriors are scheduled to meet Canada in a friendly international on August 15th in Fort Lauderdale. According to TTFF marketing manager Anthony Harford, the game initially was scheduled to be played at the Lockhart Stadium as part of a doubleheader with Panama and Guatemala. However, those plans fell through. Harford went on to explain that because of financial constraints, all of the Soccer Warriors' remaining matches for the 2012 are likely to be played away from home, as it will be more viable for the TTFF. He also outlined some of the other plans for the TTFF senior team this year.
And we are already in negotiations and maybe close to completion for a game in Europe later on in the year. In between those fixtures, Trinidad and Tobago senior team will play their first round of Caribbean Cup matches, and that will be in September.
But as far as financial assistance from the Ministry of Sport and or the sport company goes, Harford stated that the TTFF is still seeking assistance from last year's program, and that feedback is slow in coming.
Had a near $7 million spend for the under-23s and the under-17s earlier this year. We have received from them $3.5 million, and I received a letter only last Thursday from the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry indicating that they would now like to see bills and receipts.
Well, that game against Canada has been deemed a closed-door affair, but gates will be open to football fans free of charge. And news of the AFNA Netball Championship currently taking place at the Jimpeg Complex. The Calypso girls kept their slate a clean slate as far as matches goes. Last evening, they came up against St. Lucia, and the TNT players recorded their 5th consecutive victory. The life-size poster of national player Candice Guerrero was placed in the stands as the national team took on St. Lucia in their 5th game of the championship. St. Lucia started well, moving the ball around, and their finishing was on target. But this brought out the best international players in their quality of play as well. As the game progressed, the national players started to take control, with Anastasia Wilson leading the charge. The St. Lucians were not intimidated and took on the challenge. The TNT duo of Wilson and Jeline Richardson were a little too much for the visitors. Wilson did not let up the pressure. The national players held a 50-32 goal lead at the end of the 3rd quarter. And at the end of the 4th quarter, the TNT players went on to win by 63 goals to 28, their 5th consecutive victory of the tournament. Wilson had 34 from 29 attempts, Richardson 29 from 32 attempts. In the other matches, Barbados defeated Grenada 90-19, Canada got past Bermuda 49-31, and the USA defeated Guyana 82-25. Jamaica had a bye on the night. Well, there's still no confirmation as to who Kurt Sinnett will face in his Independence Day bout, but there are at least 6 names to choose from. This according to the Vice President of United Boxing Promotions, Giovanni Potts. This after the WBC turned down a fight with Quincy Jones because the Guyanese isn't ranked in the top 40. The names include 4 Cubans, but if Sinnett has it his way, he will like to face the veteran Jamaican fighter Glenn Johnson.
Once the IBF World Champion, he fought Roy Jones, he fought some of the top opponents. So I think bringing him to the table, it would be profitable for me.
And with just only 1 victory from a WBC World title fight with champion Chad Dawson, Sinnett can finally see his dream unfolding.
Feeling like my dream is just going to come true for a long time. I almost lost that dream, but I'm just seeing it right there, just waiting for me to come and take it.
Well, England, led by a century from opening batsman Alistair Cook, have taken control of the first Test match against South Africa at the Oval in London. England won the toss and decided to have first strike, but Lord skipper Andrew Strauss in the 4th delivery of the morning legged before to Moni Mokel for no score. But from then on, Cook, Trott and Kevin Peterson led England's revival.
Legit penalty? No.
Well, they're having a confab. Not too sure that they'll ask the third umpire to have a look.
Steve Davis is ready to reverse his decision. Sensational start, Strauss-Gom. It's a good length, it is away. Beautiful shot. Pushed down through mid-on for 4. Outside edge, controlled outside edge, no third man 4.
Given by Jacques Callis. Not if he bowls like that, of course, a short ball just...
That's not such a good delivery. It's a perfectly decent shot. Brings 4 to Jonathan Trott and brings up the 50 for England as well. They're exactly 50 for 1 now.
Well. All the way. You don't see that too often from Alistair Cook.
And on to this evening's Sports High, where we travel to the Oval in London. England's opening batsman Alistair Cook scored an unbeaten 114, which included 11 fours and 1 sixes of 283 deliveries. It was his 20th Test 100 of his career and his second against South Africa. Cook, for his well-paced innings, receives tonight CNC3 Sports High. Well, that's our lineup, Golda. It's back to you.
Thank you so much, Astel. It's time for us to update you on how voting has been going. And the question that we've been asking you all evening is, do you think the CAS ruling regarding Mohammed bin Hammam is reason for Minister Warner to feel vindicated? And from your responses thus far, 15% of you say yes and 85% of you say no. Now, you still have the opportunity to get your vote in before the end of the newscast, and we're waiting to hear from you. Now, coming up tonight, better roads, less traffic. The government sure seems to think so as it spends more money on highways. Stay tuned to find out all the details.
We live in a democratic society, and the trade unions are free to take whatever action within our laws.
I believed in myself. I knew I was going to make my country proud. Was I scared? No. It was my proudest moment. I felt I was on top of the world. What makes me proud about Trinidad and Tobago? The belief in ourselves and the ability to win, despite the odds. What are you proud about? Tell us on Twitter by tweeting #I4TNT.
Where there's love for country, there's energy. Where there's energy, there's BPTT.
The Ministry of Sport, your partner in winning, in taking athletes to their highest height, young and old, elite and amateur. We carve the way to make sports your livelihood, your escape, your dream. The Ministry of Sport, touching lives, enhancing living, and creating choices.
It's gonna be a great day. Got my ginseng up, hey. Let's focus, people. Come on and get it sorted. Get more out of your day. Get things done efficiently. Let's go with it. Come on and just drink it, people. Drink it up now. Drink it up now. Ginseng up now. Ginseng up now. Oh. Enjoy the new look and same great taste today. Ginseng up, the roots of all power.
My brother Freddie, he's an actor and a model. And my brother Adam, he works with architects, importing stone and marble from Italy. I like to work hard, play rough. Freddie, on the other hand, he likes to play it smooth. Freddie orders some mini skinny latte. No milk, no sugar, no this, no that. My brother just drinks espresso. Freddie loves all the attention he can get. For me, being on my own, it's wonderful too. To be honest, you'll never find me and Fred driving the same car. Steak? Again. Sushi.
Time to let you.
A fusion of cultures, peoples, artistry. Our hearts, our voices, our home. We move to the rhythm of our own beat.
From us, by us, for us. We got this. Innovation, affordability, caring customer service. Be Mobile, TNT's #1 mobile network.
There's one in all of us. Don't drink and drive. Designate a friend so you can lime again. Be the one. A message from Trinidad and Tobago Beverage Alcohol Alliance.
Meet Jane. Jane is burning fat as we speak. Just adding dairy skimmed milk to her daily routine gives her the calcium she needs to burn calories more efficiently all day long. Plus, with a low-calorie diet and exercise, it helps her burn more tummy fat. So Jane not only looks better on the outside, but she feels pretty good too. Get the better benefits of milk with dairy skimmed milk. Dairy, the milky milk.
There's really one bank you can depend on. Friendly service every day. There's really one standard of treating you like you deserve to be. Yeah. Republic gives only the best to you. We get personal attention, so explain for your inspection.
Welcome back. Now, we heard so much about the weather in Cardiff in our sportscast. What about the weather here at home? Here to tell us about it is Eric.
Thank you, Golda. Well, we had a lot of sunshine again today. Very little in terms of cloudiness at all, if any. And that's not going to last too much longer, I'm afraid. There's a tropical wave that's gone by here. This actually did a kind of hop, step, and jump over Trinidad and Tobago overnight, and it left us in the clear here. There's a lot of weather in it, but it all passed north of Trinidad and Tobago overnight into this morning. Gave the islands from Barbados northward some fairly good rainfall and so on. Now, there's a little clear space here, and it's going to remain clear overnight, but all of this weather is approaching. It's going to get pretty moist by tomorrow afternoon. We're looking at isolated showers and a thunderstorm perhaps for Trinidad and some showery activity for Tobago as well. And it looks like if that's going to last a day or two, because there's a lot of moisture all the way out to the east here. So as a result of that, we'll have some showers and isolated thunderstorm activity tomorrow and probably Saturday as well. We may see some improvement on Sunday. The wind's going to be around 10 to 15 knots, gusting to 20, and going to be out of a mostly easterly direction. The seas are forecast to be 1.5 to 2 meters, so that out of a mostly easterly direction, Gulf of Paria seas will be around 1 meter. Trinidad tonight's going to be mostly clear. Tonight's will be 24 degrees. Tomorrow, we're looking at mostly sunny conditions in the morning, becoming cloudy by mid-morning into lunchtime and afternoon. We're looking at some showery activity. Some of it should be possibly moderate to heavy, and an isolated thunderstorm. Tomorrow's high forecast to be 33 degrees. Crossing Tobago tonight, generally fair and a low of 24. And Tobago tomorrow, mostly sunny at first, but it'll become cloudy with some showers. Chance of a thunderstorm over there and a high of 31. Sun's going to rise at 5:52 a.m. and sets at 6:31 p.m. And the first high tide for Port of Spain will be at 4:46 a.m. and for Scarborough 3:52. First low tide at 10:55 a.m. for Port of Spain and 10:37 for Scarborough. And that's my weather report for now. We'll have a look at the travelers forecast, and we'll take a short break, and when we come back, Gold will have some more news for you.
police can do. Come and hear what police can do. Come and learn what police can do. We want to partner with you. Come and see what police can do. Come and hear what police can do.
Come on down to the police caravan this Friday, July 20th, Harris Promenade, San Fernando, from 12 noon to 5 p.m. It's exciting and informative. Bring the entire family. See you there.
Police can do. We want to partner with you.
If your upset stomach doesn't let you go on with your day, try Andrew's Sauce. Rapid heartburn and upset stomach relief that starts working in just 6 seconds. Also, try Andrew's Sauce. Relief with a refreshing lemon flavor.
I think as an artist, it's important to know who you are and what you're for. So it's good to come back home, come back to base, to my roots. If we are a dot, let's be the most creative, passionate, energetic dot they've ever seen. I for that. It's just that amazing simplicity that I love about Trinidad that continues to inspire me. What are you proud about? Tell us on Twitter by tweeting I4TANDT.
Where there's love for country, there's energy. Where there's energy, there's BPTT.
We are touched by your smiles and your friendships, by your appreciation of the past and your ability to see the future. We're motivated by your drive and your willingness to try new things. We are fascinated that even though you are so very different, you still see yourself as so very much the same. We are energized by how hard you work and your ability to have a good time, by your pride and your passion. We are moved by your every new beginning and wonderful end. Every day we're inspired by your likes and your lives, and we'll continue to challenge ourselves to remain a big part of them both. Bermudez, biscuits we love.
Government will spend roughly $90 million to extend the Diego Martin Highway and construct an overpass at Cocorite. Works and Infrastructure Minister Emmanuel George told Thursday's post-cabinet news conference that both projects, which will begin in 2013, are aimed at improving the country's road infrastructure to cater for or cater to future traffic projections. However, Mr. George said it was possible that people will have to be relocated during the process, but assured that it will be done in a proper manner.
We expect that we are going to find lands that people own there, and we will have to therefore do some negotiating with them in order to acquire those properties and so on. So yes, there will be that.
It's now time for tonight's entertainment hotspot, and tonight we focus on carnival presentations for 2013, and we tell you whose curves are 100% real.
It may be summertime in the U.S., but it's Carnival Band launch time in TNT. Last Saturday, Spice Mass Band unveiled its Carnival 2013 presentation at Pier 1 in Shangaramas, entitled Let's Dance. The presentation will represent some of the well-known and exotic dances from around the world. And if you're still in the carnival spirit and want somewhere to fet this weekend, don't be daunted. Tribe will be rolling out their 2013 contribution to Carnival, entitled Butterflies, Beasts, Bacchanal. Are you enjoying the 25th anniversary of the Tobago Heritage Festival or haven't been to it yet? Well, you have just about 13 more days to be there and be part of the experience. Recognize this person who appears to be having lots of fun. THA Assemblywoman Claudia Groom-Duke was caught trying her hand at scene pulling at Black Rock Sea Festival in the Tobago Heritage activities. The event is not just about having fun, but also sees prayers and blessings said over boats out at sea. And while Carly Red is still alive, the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta star survived her catfight with K. Michelle, and now she has found herself in a new battle, denying claims that her posterior is fake. During the catfight, K. Michelle accused the Trini-born entertainer of having fake curves. But Carly, in interviews on radio stations in the U.S. and on her Twitter and MySpace account, says, quote, all her curves are 100% real.
We take a quick now and come back with some international news. Stay tuned.
The Evangelical Council of Churches, in collaboration with the Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship International, invites you to join the Christian community in celebration of our 50th anniversary Jubilee of Independence Emancipation Rally, with our specially invited feature speaker all the way from Nigeria, Reverend Mozi Madugba, accompanied by a contingent of prominent Nigerian dignitaries on Saturday, July the 28th, from 4 p.m. at King George V Park in Port of Spain, and also on Sunday, July the 29th, from 4 p.m. at Dwight York Stadium, Tobago, featuring prominent local artists including Christopher Tambu Herbert, Woodbrook Steel Orchestra, dancers, drummers, and a 100-member choir, and lots more. Admission is free.
There is a place where all of our people will meet, where we will see them compete and follow their efforts, and feel the excitement of seeing our colors and the pride of seeing our countrymen win. Everyone will be there, all in one place. DirecTV, the only one with coverage of the Olympic Games focused on our athletes. Now get your DirecTV hooked up for only $99.
Mrs. B is happy. She's happy because she knows every bottle of Smolta is filled with B vitamins, ideal for growth, concentration, and vitality. Give them their B's. Smolta, because you love them.
Reconnect with your African ancient history by visiting African Trophies. Take advantage of our Emancipation Sale to enrich your surroundings with African arts, craft, clothing, and music at 40% discount. African Trophies, 39 Tragreach Road, Port of Spain. Come to Catwalk now. Ladies tops now $79. Over 30 styles available. Casual and career tops on sale. All new arrivals. Available at our Catwalk locations. Check us out on Facebook for more details.
It's now time for a summary of the main international stories of the day.
The fight goes on for Damascus. We bring you the latest live from neighboring Lebanon. President Assad appears on Syrian state TV swearing in a new defense minister. Whilst at the United Nations, Russia and China veto tougher action against Syria, Washington says it will now work outside the UN Security Council. Footage is released of the man suspected of the suicide bomb attack on a bus carrying Israeli tourists in Bulgaria. Israel's government blames Iran.
We'll be back with more news.
Come and see what police can do. Come and hear what police can do. Come and learn what police can do. We want to partner with you. Come and see what police can do. Come and hear what police can do.
Come on down to the police caravan this Friday, July 20th, Harris Promenade, San Fernando, from 12 noon to 5 p.m. It's exciting and informative. Bring the entire family. See you there.
We want to partner with you. It's so pulpy. Wow. Minute Maid Pulpy is here. Refreshing orange juice drink with real fruit pulp. Pulp up your life with new Minute Maid Pulpy.
Brand Source says massive blowout sale this Saturday and Sunday at Brand Source. 6-door wardrobe $1,099. Park bench $699. King size beds at $9,999. 6-foot table with 4 folding chairs $999. Brand Source, Chaguanas and Arima. Chaguanas branch open Sunday 9 to 1 p.m.
It's time to tell you how you voted in our Your Vote segment this evening. And the question that we asked once again was, do you think the CAS ruling regarding Mohammed bin Hammam is reason for Minister Warner to feel vindicated? And in our final tally of votes, 14% of you said yes, and 86% of you said no. Thank you so much for participating in our newscast. And that brings us to the end of the news here on CNC3. Thank you so much for watching. On behalf of Astil Ren, good evening.